What's going on? It's your boy Sniper, aka Brown Amico Wolf. Hey, I'm glad to be here today. We're gonna do something that we are a little different from the Wolfpack Nation. We're gonna do some odds, uh, spreads, and over and under some of these games that's going to be played this weekend. Before I do that, let me see what we got going on here. Armando Black, D Truth, Ed D. Hey, man, I try to get through it as quick as I can, man. I know you said it's your bedtime, so we're trying to get through these quick as I can. So before we begin, I'm not a Vegas betting expert. I kind of like to keep my own money and not give it to nobody else. But I like watching games and seeing if they can cover the spread or the over-under. So before we begin, hey, y'all, invite more friends in. Hit that like button. You got 20 minutes, bro? Oh, man, we probably get through a couple of them in 20 minutes. Hey, Eddie, add to the chat. If there's a game that you want me to research real quick, let me know. I'll find what I can find, and then we can go from there, all right? Without further ado, let's do this. Friday night game, 8 p.m. Arizona, you're 2-0 Arizona, and you're 2-0 Kansas State. This should be a real good one. It's played at Kansas State. I don't know what the weather should be. I think it said it was supposed to be kind of sunny out. It's going to be a night game. So here we go. The spread got Kansas State winning by 7. Before, again, for you guys out there that don't understand what the spread means and what the over-under is, let me explain it to you real quick. So with the spread, experts, Vegas experts, ESPN, ABC, the betting folks, they put the amount that a team should win or lose by. So in this game right here is 7 points. They gave Arizona 7 points off the rip, start of the game. Okay? That means that Kansas State has to come in and win by 8 points or more. And I usually have it like 7.5, 3.5. You just round that number up. So if it's 3.5, you got to win by 4 by 4. Now the over under. What's going on, Go Dogs? The over under. It's how many points that those teams are going to score at the end of the game. So they say that the combined score for, let's throw a game out there. Let's just go with Georgia's first game, Georgia Clemson. The combined score is 45. So that means that those team combined score has to be 45 or 46 points for you to actually win money. Now, there's some other ways of doing it. I'm just giving you the general gist of how to place your bets if you're a betting person and trying to win some money off these games. So back to it. Arizona, Kansas State. All right, so the point spread is 7 points. So that means, again, Arizona has 7 points off the rip, and Kansas State has to win by 8 for anybody to win. All right, let's look at it. In the last 2 weeks, Arizona put up 53.5 points. They're rushing. They're rushing 393, 7.1 points, rushing yards a game. Kansas City. Golly, I just got off the phone with Armando, and we talking about professional football, and I'm thinking about how that. Kansas State, they got doggone 57.5 points in the game. in the last 2 games that they played. They were rushing, but here's the kicker. They're both equal on defense. They're both equal on defense. Arizona has given up 668 points, and Kansas State has given up 625 points. So if I'm looking at the spread and the way they are, their defense is giving up so much yardage, I'm going to go with Arizona and say they will not get the spread, and I'm gonna say under for the over under. Their defense give up a lot of points, so it could be close at the end. Most people think that they give up a lot of points, so it's going to be a high scoring game. Yeah, 60.5. I will take the under 2. So, and here's the deal. Arizona's has scored 33 points in the last 2. Their score equals up to 33. Kansas State is 49. Defense is going to give them their yards. They're going to give them their and they can score points. So I'm going with under. I don't think they're going to make that 60.5. And also, at the end of the day, I think this game is going to be close. I'm giving Arizona the spread. Kansas State wins by a field goal. How do y'all feel about that? All right, so our next game. And this one's going to be a nice one. This one's going to be a nice one, y'all. LSU at South Carolina. LSU at South Carolina. Whew. This was going to be a hard one. I think this is going to be a defensive matchup again. Let's look at their they got LSU by 7. So South Carolina gets that 7 points right off the rip. South Carolina is 2-0. Hey, Miss Media, how you doing, baby? The over-under is 48. That's the surprising part. If I was a betting man, well, before I stay there, I'll say that. Passing. LSU has 30. It's about 32 point. They give it a 600. They have a 622 yards on the ground. South Carolina, or no, 622 net yards. South Carolina is 287. Rushing, LSU has only rushed 180 yards in 2 games, and South Carolina is 253. Yikes! Right? If they can run and get, if their ground game is that good so far in the first 2 games, and South Carolina already got 7 points. What you mean they trash? They, in 2 games, what's that averaging? Yeah, you're right. That's trash. Never mind. I forgot. Looked at it. That is kind of trash. Let's see. 2, 3 divided by 2 is 126 yards in 2 games. 127 yards in 2 games. That's pretty decent. In 2 games? Come on, bro. Look at the defense. LSU's defense is giving up 742 yards. That's 523 yards passing and 219 yards rushing. And that's in the last 2 games. South Carolina defense is kind of stout. They only give up 488 yards. That's 200 and that. Yeah. I see what you're saying. But hey, South Carolina is only giving up 278 yards and 278 yards passing, 278 yards rushing. So, betting man, with this, if they already gave South Carolina 7 points, I'm going to say they're not going to get the spread. LSU is not going to get the spread. But I do think that they get the 48 points plus. I'm going over for the LSU South Carolina game, but I'm saying that South Carolina LSU does not meet the spread. I think this is going to be another who has the ball at the end of the game, and I'm saying that South Carolina does not allow LSU to get that spread. If y'all got anything about that, let me know. I'll give you a few seconds. So you think you're gonna get the LSU's gonna make that spread? I hear what you're saying, Ed D. I hear what you're saying. Yes, go dogs. What you got for me? I'll answer that question the best way I can. If Amanda wants to come up, he can answer your question for you too. And let me know how that turns out for you, Ed D. Now, let's moving right along. My third game, and y'all already know what it is. You already know what it is. Alabama at Wisconsin. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be discussion all weekend long. Alabama going up to Wisconsin. Alabama is favored in this game by 16.5 points. The over-under is 49.5. Hey, Ed, I might do an over-under for some games in the NFL before Sunday. All right, so me and you can discuss that and see what's going on. So again, Alabama and at Wisconsin, going all the way up to Wisconsin. Let's look at these teams head to head, starting with offense. Alabama in the last two games is 993 yards. That's 460 yards rushing. Uh, 460 yards passing and 533 yards rushing. Now, majority of those yards came last week, in the half for the third quarter, leading to the fourth. All right. Wisconsin is total yards in the last two games is 773 yards. That's 406 yards of passing, 367 yards rushing. Alabama scored 105 points in the last 2 games. Wisconsin's only 55 points. Now this is where it turns around right here, y'all. This is where it makes a difference. The defense. Alabama's defense is only giving up 454 yards. That's 206 yards passing, 248 yards rushing. Only 16 points is given up. But on the flip side, Wisconsin, very close with their defense in the last 2 games. They have given up 498 yards. That is 255 yards passing, 243 yards rushing, and only giving up 27 points. And I think that's going to be the difference of the game, is which defense shows up. Because they both move the ball. Okay. They can both move the ball. Their offense can move the ball up and down the field. But what defense shows up is going to be that's going to be the key to this game. With Alabama is giving Wisconsin 16.5 points. In 2 games, Wisconsin's only scored 55 points. What are y'all thinking? Because this one right here is one of those. What y'all think that this is going to be? In this situation, there's a Penn State coach there. Go Dogs. That's a good question. And I think that we can get more in detail come Friday, Saturday on our morning show. I think that I think it's more of a team problem. I think it's more of a both. More both. Teams got to learn how to play all the way through the end. Play calling is suspect against Ball State. Bowling Green. Defense is horrible. But can that be that's one of those where you got to look at it, where they are, where Penn State is, where the head coach is, what has he done, and play calling is horrible. Play calling is horrible for Penn State. D. Bama's offense is better. They win, but 2 power conference teams. Exactly. So that's where I think that's what Amanda was trying to say earlier, is that we don't know what all right, so I got 30 minutes with you, Eddie. I got you. We will make sure we're done by then. But we don't know what Alabama is capable of because they haven't played nobody. Like, seriously. And the teams they played, Western Kentucky, okay, you did what you're supposed to do in Western Kentucky. It was just like another scrimmage, another practice for you. But and then you go to South Florida and you can't move the ball, you can't score, you can't stop nobody. And you don't, and it just comes to the end of the game where you're starting to, I guess what you say, start clicking. Or was South Florida is like, damn, we've been whooping your tail all day. We tied. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that you take the spread with Alabama. No. Sorry. I think that you take the over under and put it under. And then you do not take the spread because, again, Wisconsin can slow you down. Thank you for you guys coming in, the Facebook folks. Hey, I appreciate you coming. If you got anything that you want to add to what I'm saying, hey, go ahead and throw it in there. I appreciate y'all here. Yo, go ahead and hit that like button for me. It is a tough game, bro. It's going to be a tough game because you don't know what Alabama team you're going to get. And then again, you don't know what Wisconsin defense you're going to get. We was talking about this earlier, and I believe that Alabama or Wisconsin's defense has shown improvement. Yep, they only gave up 27 points in 2 games. And 10 of those came from last week with Colorado. But their body of work against Colorado. I know Colorado does not have the offensive line to go against a team like Wisconsin. But then again, you flip that coin over. Alabama might come out and just start scorching them right off the rip. Never know. I'm not taking a spread. It's going to be a close game than 16.5 points. And I'm going to stay under 50 points. I'm going to stay under 50 points. Yeah, that's what I just said. Oh, Nebraska. Never mind. You know what I mean. They both red and white. Cut me some slack. It's not 9:30 yet. All right. Anything that anybody want to put into that? Anybody thinks differently that we should either take the spread or go over 50 points? All right, moving right along. And that is true, too. That is true, Ed. They might move that again. Wait. What's the odds of that, Miss Malaysia? The light? What is the odds of your is it over under? What is the odds of that? Hey, listen, I am very high on the Canes. Okay? I'm very high on the Canes. But we'll see when they start playing real football. We'll see when they start playing teams that got a little spunk behind them. I'm glad you're here, Miss Malaysia. All right. Moving right along. Boston College 2-0 at Missouri. You say that now, Malaysia. Boston College at Missouri. Let's see. They got Mizzou 16.5 points. So again, Boston College, it starts the game off with 16.5 points. They got the over-under is 54.5. Wow. They yes, D. They can get you what you need. Do you want to win some money? I'm gonna tell you, they can get you what you need, right? But this game is closer when it comes to stats, when it comes to offensive defense stats. It's a lot closer than most people believe. And I understand Mizzou. Um, and I forgot to write that down. Uh, Give me 1 sec, y'all. Da, 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 da. Mizzou's only played Buffalo and Murray State. Okay. Mizzou's only played Buffalo and Missouri State. Boston College ain't no punk. We're going to throw that out there real quick. Boston College is not no punk. In the last two games, Boston College has put up 932 yards, 363 yards passing, 569 yards rushing. $569 yards rushing already in 2 games. Mizzou has put up 1,007 yards, 573 yards passing, 434 yards rushing. This is Mizzou has scored 89. Boston College 84. In the last 2 games, bro. In the last 2 games, these teams have almost put up 100 points. 100 points in the last 2 games. Makes that now, again, what is the defense doing? What is the defense doing? Boston College has given up 428 yards. That's 347 in the air. Only 81 yards on the ground in the last 2 games. Who did Boston College beat last week, y'all? Does somebody remember that game? Only gave up 81 yards on the ground. They have only given up 13 points in 2 games. There's a touchdown and a field goal. A touchdown and a field goal in the last couple of games. Now look at him, Malaysia. You don't have to come up here and politic for your Canes now. Listen, your Canes is doing good as of now. Now look, don't push it. Now look, I got them winning the ACC. Okay, that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? I got them winning the ACC, but that is all I got them winning. Back to my schedule program. Missouri has given up only 254 yards. Again, who they played against. Understand that. 82 yards in the air. The last two teams they played are not passing. They don't have the capability to pass on the defense of Missouri or any team as of right now in SEC, ACC, Big 10, 12. And they're giving up 170 yards on the ground. 172 yards on the ground. They have given up no points in the last two games. And as I said before, Missouri has not played anybody just yet. So with my picks on the spread, again, Boston College already got 16.5. I am not taking a spread. Yes, Mizzou can score. Okay. Mizzou can score. But Boston College defense is different than what we thought they would be. So I'm not taking 16.5 points. Again, it might be a touchdown win game. I don't know. I haven't made my mind up who I'm picking for this game because this is a tough game to pick from. And I'm going under with the over under. I think it'll be less than 54. 54.5. Their air game, in the last two games, Boston College has 363 yards in the air. 360 is not bad for two games. But don't look at their air game that much, because if they are rushing 569 yards on the ground, they running that rock. And if Missouri's giving them 172 yards, that's about their average. A little bit more below their average, but it's damn near close. What you got, Ed? Again, the over-under is 54.5. And the Mizzou, they got Mizzou winning by 16.5 points. Malaysia, what you think? BC for the upset. You think? Do you think that? So you would not take the spread. You think BC for the upset? Got you. I'll run down my picks again in a few seconds there. I got you. All right. Let's move it along. Now, this is one that I just, and I'm glad you're here, Miss. I'm glad you're here there, Miss Malaysia, because I did pick Ball State at Miami. And this is the one. It's at Miami, 3:30 game at the U. And let's look at it. We got Miami 36.5 points. Over under is 55. Whew. Yes. Ball State at Miami. And hey, listen, Ed, I just went and picked some random games. Malaysia, stay focused. Stay focused, Malaysia. We're talking about your team right now. Stop arguing with folks in the chat. Come on now. Let's look at the offense of Ball State and Miami. Ball State has 435 yards on the in the last two games, 262 yards, 262 yards passing, 173 yards rushing, 42 points. All right. Yes, by 30. So imagine. Let me get through this, Ed. You got this. You going exactly where I'm going with this. Miami, 1,078 yards in 2 games. 1,078 yards in 2 games. 700. Thank you, Malaysia. Get back to work. Have a good one. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No. This is one of those. This is a gimme. Okay. This is a gimme. Like I said, Miami's 1,078 yards, 709 in the air, 359 on the ground. In the last 2 games, Ball State scored 42 points, and Miami's 97. Defensive wise, 302 points given up. Or not, sorry, 320 yards given up by Ball State. They have 250, they give up 258 yards in the air, but only 62 yards rushing. Only 62 yards rushing. Now we know Miami's a different beast, but hey, that's pretty impressive. You only giving up 62 yards rushing. 34 points. The opponents that scored on them. Go over to Miami. They have 451 yards given up, 260 in the air, and 191 on the ground. They only given up 26 points. Only given up 26 points in the last 2 games. Again, it's too early to call on it, but hey, let's think about it. Miami's a different beast than Ball State. This is the time where I say I do take the spread. I think Miami can beat them by 37 plus points. But I'm gonna take the under because I don't think that. Oh, wait. What am I saying? What am I saying? If I take the spread of 36.5, I'm going to take the over and I'm going to take the over and say it's going to be a little bit more than 55 points. Ed, what you thinking, boss? And I only got 2 more, Adam. We can get this done by 9:30. I think that and the reason why I think that I take that over is because, again, they beat Florida. Florida by 30. What's not to add another 20 to that? The only thing is that is Ball State's defense the truth that it can hold their running game? Do they have a rushing defense? Yeah, that will put them in the under though. Whew. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. The Gamecocks. I'll go back to the Gamecocks in a second. I haven't got to Georgia, Kentucky yet. And I got one more game ahead of them. So you're saying don't go with the spread? All right, okay. I think the game could. Yeah. Just to do a quick recap. I did Arizona and Kansas State. I said I would not take the spread on Kansas State, the 7-point spread, and I will go under. LSU, South Carolina. I said I would not take the spread on the South Carolina or the LSU. And I will stay under 48 points when it comes to that game. Alabama, Wisconsin. I say Alabama does not reach the 16.5, so I stay under the. I will not take the spread on that one, and I will stay under the. I will stay under that game also. I think LSU with the win, but they're not going to win more than 7 points. They had to won more by 8 points. Boston College, Missouri, and I'm gonna flip it up here. I'm going to take this. I'm going to go out of the limb. I'm at Missouri, Boston College. I'm going to take the spread, but stay under. Spread is 16.5. I'm going to take the spread and go under the over under. And then Ball State, Miami. I'm taking the spread and I'm taking the over. Okay. Hey, listen, Ed D. Listen. I'm just going off of what I see. Okay. Do not show up at my front door saying that you want to fight because my picks didn't go right for you. Please don't show me up at my front door. All right. All right. The next game. Next game we got on the list is another big hitter. Ole Miss versus Wake Forest. Ole Miss is traveling to Wake Forest this weekend. All right. The spread is 22.5 for Ole Miss. So that means that Wake Forest automatically get automatic. You know what I'm trying to say. Wake Forest already get 22.5. So that means, again, this to clear it up, Ole Miss has to win by 23 points to actually get so you can get winnings. The over-under is 64.5. So let's look at this offense and let's look at the tail of the tape, as they like to say, the offense defense. Ole Miss has 1,427 yards, 1,427 yards all ready. They have scored 128 points already. Almost 1,000 yards in the air already with 926 and 501 yards on the ground. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous in 2 games. 2 games. But again, who did Ole Miss play at the beginning of their first 2 games? I know Ole Miss has played. Let's look at it. And I'll be a little bit more. They played Furman and Middle Tennessee. They was not challenged, not one bit. They scored 76 points on the first game. 52 in the second game. Furman and Ole Miss. That's what I'm saying. But Wake Forest, on the other hand, 1,057 yards with 723 yards passing and 334 yards rushing, and scored 75 points in the first 2 games. First 2 points in the first 2 games, they scored 75 points. And again, who have they played in the first 2 games? They played Virginia, which they lost to Virginia. And they played NC A&T, North Carolina A&T. So, and they played Virginia real tight. They only lost by 1 point. Their defense, Ole Miss has given up 450 yards, 396 yards in the air, and only 54 yards on the ground. Wake Forest has given up 767 yards, 509 yards in the air, 258 yards on the ground. Ole Miss has only given up 3 points. Again, we know who they played, y'all. We know who they played. And Wake Forest has given up 44 points. 30 of those points came from Virginia. So we look at this now. The kicker to this is we all know Ole Miss can score at will. You can blink twice and Ole Miss is up by 45 before and you're wondering how it happened. I don't think that Wake Forest have enough to keep up with, because there'll be a shootout. And I don't think that Wake Forest have enough to go 60 minutes with Ole Miss. That 25-point spread look really, really good. The only problem I have is Wake Forest can score. They do have a decent passing and rushing game. They can score. As much as I want to take the spread on this one, I'm not going to, because they can score, but do they have enough to continue scoring is the question. They didn't have enough in the mid third quarter to the from mid third quarter to the end of the fourth quarter to hang with Ole Miss, and I don't think they have it. So I'm not going to take the spread I'm double checking myself right now because again, Ole Miss can score, but Ole Miss does slow down towards the end of the game. Not by we're up by this much. It's proven that Ole Miss can they score. Then next thing you know, they have a brain fart and they don't know how to score towards the end of the game. So I'm not as a this is what it is. This is another one. All right, Eddie. All right, man. Thanks for sticking around with me, bro. I got one more. You can't stick around for one more, Eddie. One more. You said 9:30 and it's only 9:23. I only got one more game. I need your help on this one right here. What you thinking on this? I know they can score. Are you saying that they smoking by 30? Eddie, I'm gonna go with you on this. I'm gonna take the spread. I'm gonna take my words back. I'm gonna take the spread. Take the spread, and I'm gonna say we're gonna go with I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over. That's one of those is hard because again, Ole Miss can't score. All right, here we go. The last game, and you know, last game, it had to be my Georgia Bulldogs. For the end of the night, had to be. You know, y'all listen to Armando's podcast. It was his Georgia. This is my Georgia Bulldogs right now. Georgia Bulldogs at Kentucky. It is a 7:30 game, and just like it's predicted to be raining from here until next Monday because of the hurricane tropical storm that hit Louisiana last night. And if anybody in Louisiana, I'm praying for you and your family, and I hope that it's not much damage. And if it is, I hope it's fixable at a expedient rate so y'all can get on with your lives. Kentucky, Georgia versus Kentucky. The spread is 24 points. The over-under is 45. Let's go to the tail of the tape and see what what each offense and defense has done. Offense first. Georgia is 945 yards altogether in the first two games. That's against Clemson and that Tennessee Tech team. Yeah. 610 yards in the air and 335 yards on the ground. They have scored 82 points. All right. The Kentucky Wildcats, 500 yards on the altogether in the last two games. Suffer a loss last week to South Carolina. 213 yards in the air, 287 yards on the ground. They have scored 37 points. Defensive wise, Georgia has given up only 322 yards, 160 on the ground, 160 in the air, 162 on the ground. Only giving up 6 points. Kentucky is giving up 383 yards, 297 yards on the ground or in the air, and 84 yards on the ground. They've given up 31 points. All that with that game, it does all that stuff that we just said, it doesn't matter. And I'm gonna tell you why. For the last couple of years that we have gone to Kentucky, it's either it was at night and it damn rained. The last two times we've went to Kentucky, it has rained and it's at night. I don't believe Georgia. The first time, 3 years ago, a couple years ago, I think Georgia only scored. It was like a 6-3. No, because Sony Michel did score a touchdown. I don't know. Yeah. 10-6. It was a very close game. Last year, same thing. Raining, low scoring game. I don't know why does it always rain when Georgia show up to Kentucky. I'm taking the spread. I'm taking the spread. Kentucky can have that 24 points because it's not going to happen. Okay? Georgia's going to win, but it's going to be a low scoring game, and it is not going to reach 45 points. The last couple of times we played Kentucky, it has been a low scoring game, defensive battle. One offense can't run, other offense can't pass. It's just all over the place. So I am not taking that. Kentucky can have those 24 points, and we're going to go with I'm going to go with the under on that game. All right. So what's the odds? Anybody got anything they want me to throw out there? Any other games y'all want me to look up real quick before I roll out? My man only got 1 minute, so y'all got to, hey, make it quick now. Hey, my man got to go to bed. He got to work in the morning. I know some of y'all, majority of y'all do too, if you're not at work right now. Anybody else? So, hey, the quick recap. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up to the top. Georgia, Kentucky, 7:30 game in Kentucky, in Lexington. It's got 24-point spread. I am not taking a 24-point spread. Kentucky can have it. And I'm going with the under 45 points this game because of the conditions and it's raining. Ole Miss at Wake Forest. I'm giving Wake Forest a 22.5. I don't think, no. I'm actually taking a spread on that game. Given I think that Ole Miss can beat them more than 23 points, but I'm going to stay under the 64.5. Ball State and Miami under, yes. It would take 36.5. Got it. 55. Got it. Bro, it's raining all day. It's raining all day Saturday. They got a tropical storm going through, bro. Boston College, Missouri. I am letting Boston College keep those 16.5, and we're going to stay under 54. Alabama, Wisconsin. Wisconsin can keep that 16.5. I don't think Alabama can score more than beat them more than 17 points, and we're going to stay under the 49.5. LSU, South Carolina. LSU, South Carolina. South Carolina can keep those 7 points. I think this is going to be a 3-point game. And it's not going to go over 48 points. Last but not least, I'm going to Arizona and Kansas. I am letting Arizona keep the 7 points, and we're going to stay under 60.5. What are y'all thinking? What do y'all think? Y'all think that? Thank you, Go Dogs, man. I appreciate it. Those who are in the chat, y'all, what do y'all think? Anybody want to push back, or not push back, but show me a different way of looking at some of these games? Let me know. We get a few minutes before we close it down. And I appreciate it. Hey, thanks for helping out too, bro. And look, I got done right at 3:30. Not 9:30. So you get your good 8.5 hours, 9 hours of sleep. All right, y'all. Well, this has been fun, man. And hey, listen, I'm gonna try to do this every Thursday evening, unless something comes up. Y'all do know how brother works, so try to get this done Thursday evening. Hit me up if you want me to talk about a game. Again, I'm not an expert. I just go off of what I see. I look at the stats, the body of play, and I'll let you know what I feel if you're a bet. I'm not a betting man, but I like to give a knowledge when I can. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you for the Facebook crowd for showing up. Miss Malaysia for showing up. Ed D, Go Dogs. Mondo Black. D Truth. Miss Media, thank you all for coming through on our first show. And it's gonna get bigger from here, y'all. It's gonna get bigger from here. Hey, we're gonna have our Friday night show. Armando put out a time for that. And then 8:00. College football show. It will be there. All right. Be there or be squared. Come and talk about your teams. Come and tell us who you're gonna pick for the day. Give us some insight on other teams that we might not miss over. So that is it. I'm your host, the Sniper, aka Brown Amico Wolf. I hope that if y'all do pick it, I hope I win you some money. Okay. And if you don't get the right picks because of what I said, hey, listen, do not show up at my house. I told you from the beginning. Betting is and if you're going to bet, please bet responsibly. Please bet responsibly. Don't go out there going crazy, especially if you got a family. Okay? Nothing's a sure thing. The football games is not a sure thing. Betting is not a sure thing. And you've seen it plenty of times when you're like, oh, I got this game, and next thing you know, that field goal ruins it. Or the missed field goal ruins it. So, again, appreciate y'all coming out. I'll see y'all next Thursday. Same time, same place. And again, hit me up and let me know how your betting went. On that note, I'm out. Go Dogs. Go Dogs. Sick 'em.